Just a quick reminder that we're going into our winter hibernation for the next 2 weeks as we take our annual holiday break. We'll be back in action publishing again on Monday, January 6th after some much needed downtime and R&R. I hope you all have a great holiday, however you choose to celebrate the time, or maybe not, and I'll see you again in the new year after today's show. This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our exclusive multi-state cannabis operator sponsor, Trulieve, one of the nation's top vertically integrated medical and wellness cannabis operators with 50 local dispensaries, 14 cultivation sites, and 13 processing facilities, serving up more than 165,000 medical marijuana patients. You can learn more about Trulieve over at Trulieve.com with Trulieve spelled Curaleaf. That's Trulieve.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Friday, December 20th, 2019, and you're tuned in to episode 858 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Massachusetts leads off today's news as yesterday the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission had a rather contentious public meeting at which the chair, Stephen Hoffman, adjourned early because of a business owner who loudly criticized the commission's work and the long delay she's faced in getting her business licensed. Prospective licensee Lee Cook Daniels was in the front row of the audience and took the floor to detail the reason she's upset with her experience in trying to get up and running. Ms. Daniels is a military veteran and part of the state's economic empowerment program, and yet has watched her application to open up a cannabis company in Massachusetts sit for more than 600 days. After she started speaking, Chair Stephen Hoffman called the meeting to recess, and all of the commissioners except for Shalene Title left the room. Shalene, who regular listeners should remember, is a longtime activist and an on-hiatus regular on our weekly podcast, Marijuana Today, remained behind to listen, with the rest of the commission coming back out after a half hour or so. Due to the recess, a stack of applications and other regular business was not addressed and will be pushed to the next meeting. This one's worthy of a full read. Swing on over to the Boston Globe. Green Market Report has a good piece up about a brewing bit of controversy with the multi-state cannabis operator Trulieve, which is the target of a scathing report recently issued by a short seller accusing the company of a range of criminal and generally dodgy activities. Trulieve has now responded with statements rejecting the accusations and yesterday announced the appointment of 2 new advisors to its board of directors. The report accusing Trulieve of criminal activity was written by an outfit called Grizzly Reports, which stands to gain as a short seller if the company's stock dips, something that's always good to keep in mind. Pop over to Green Market Report for the details here, as it seems like a good storyline to at least have a basic handle on. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com. Our final top story for the day, the week, and the year was picked up by Mr. Kyle Yeager over at Marijuana Moments, who details the news that a voter initiative to legalize medical marijuana in South Dakota has qualified for the 2020 fall ballot. Activists collected more than 30,000 signatures as part of the effort, which South Dakota Secretary of State Steve Barnett announced as being successful yesterday. If passed by voters next year, the initiative would set up a limited taxed and regulated medical marijuana program with a deadline of April 1st, 2022 for state officials to release the actual rules for how things will run. Congratulations to everyone involved in making this one happen. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Trulieve, one of the nation's top multi-state cannabis operators with 50 local dispensaries, 14 cultivation sites, and 13 processing facilities, serving up more than 165,000 registered medical marijuana patients. Trulieve is proud to cover the entire legal marijuana spectrum, with Trulieve Medical Marijuana, Trulieve Hemp, and Yuku Craft Cannabis, serving up everyone from military veterans and businesswomen to soccer dads and grandparents. And everyone at Trulieve knows how important education is for getting the most benefits out of using cannabis, which is why they spend so much time and energy in helping their customers understand all the things they need to know. Take advantage of all the good things done by Trulieve by visiting one of their many shops, which you can find out about over at Trulieve.com, spelled Curaleaf. where you can also learn more about Curaleaf, the stock, now traded up on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the symbol CURA. Big, giant, enormous thanks to everyone at Curaleaf for the support that helps us run this show. All right, time for the Blitz. Kyle's got another headline as the Environmental Protection Agency just issued a list of 10 pesticides approved for the use on illegal industrial hemp. The newly approved pesticides will be available for farmers to use in the upcoming 2020 growing season. Swing over to Kyle's story here for more and to see the full list of the 10 first legal hemp pesticides. Yesterday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said in a new report that 12 million Americans admitted to driving after consuming cannabis during the year 2018. That's around 4.7% of those surveyed. I think this one's important because it kind of shows that driving a vehicle after consuming cannabis is not something we should be worried about. If this survey is correct, nearly 5% of drivers out there are on the road after consuming and are doing just fine, not getting into accidents or crashing into things. Something to think about. The Associated Press scooped up an important story out of Nebraska where a farm was forced to shred and destroy a crop of industrial hemp last month because it tested over the limit for THC. This highlights a structural flaw in how we are approaching hemp as it costs the farm in question thousands of dollars in lost revenue and time and energy to shred their offending crop. There's got to be a better way to handle hemp plants that test over the limit besides tossing them into the burn pile. David Downs over at Leafly pulled together a good story parsing out all the different parts of Illinois' upcoming legal marijuana tax structure, which is set to be the highest legal cannabis tax rate in the nation, averaging more than 26%, but running over 30% in some places. Zip over to see the exact breakdown. A new poll out of New Mexico shows a very high level of support among the population for the legalization of adult use marijuana, with 75% saying they thought it's a good idea. That's the biggest number I've seen in a general survey on adult use legalization and bodes well for the prospects of New Mexico throwing off the shackles of adult use prohibition in the upcoming legislative session set to start next month. Yesterday, the Oregon Liquor Control Commission announced a ban on CBD-infused alcohol in that state. There are reportedly a number of Oregon breweries right now selling beer with CBD, something they'll need to shut down by January 1st when the new ban takes effect. And finally for today, Leafly's David Downs is back to wrap up our news day with a longer form look at the relative safety of vaporizers from the legal market compared to those bought from unlicensed shops. As the numbers show, you are far away more likely to suffer negative health consequences from using illicit market vaporizers than you are with those sold on the legal market. This is a good story to read as it will give you a better understanding of the causes of the vape health scare and some talking points that you can use should you ever talk to someone confused over its particulars. Those are the headlines and news for the day, the week, and the year. I'll be back with you again on Monday, January 6th with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Curaleaf, and to our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.